What is going on, guys, and welcome to HTML tutorial. Now that we have actually created our first attribute, I think it's a good time to see what would be the best way actually to work with the brackets regarding the HTML elements and actually regarding the attributes for HTML element. Now, if we notice that actually once we create this left angle bracket, you can see that I have this list. And as I'm scrolling down the list up and down, you can actually see that I have some options. Well, these options actually are the HTML elements that I can add just by clicking on them. So you can see that we have covered, let's say, headings. So if I would click over here, I would add a heading right away, right? And there was many more. Unfortunately, what's happening is that it's not all of them. So you can see it goes down all the way to H. But let's say if I would want to add an image, you can see that as I'm pressing I, it actually gives me another option, another set of options. And these are all the elements that start with I. So let's say if I wanted to, if I would open up a bracket, I can just press the letter that I would want. So let's say G, but there's no element with G, there's no element with D. But let's say if I would press with I, and over here I would just press with I would have the chance of image, even though it's not showing up in the beginning. Once I open up over here, you can see that I have no option of I. However, if I just don't remember the full name of an element, I just remember, let's say, the first letter that it started with, I can always do it this way. I can just press the first letter and it would give me the options that I have. So in this case, it's going to be the image that we covered in the last video. Now here's another deal, how to deal with attributes. So let's say you can see that it created an image for me, but you can see that it didn't finish creating everything, right? So if I just press space right now, you can see that I have another list coming up. And this is actually all the list of the attributes available for me. Again, these attributes for now we're not going to know. Only the alternative right now over here we have. So this would be the text if the image is not showing. But let me just again delete that. And we can see over here again, if I press image over here and I go up. And now if I press space, it gives me all the options of a attribute. Now here's the deal. If I don't have in my list, let's say over here source, right? But again, if I just press S, you can see that it gives me an option of what type of attribute I would want to add. So let's say I'm gonna have source, and right away gives me where obviously my image would be located. So again, I can just press images and then I keep going and it gives me the funny or Putin or two types of T's, right? Now here's the deal though. If let's say that if you're starting to type something, right? And you can see that now it's not giving me any options because I have been using the delete button. What I can always do is, if I'm in this case, but I still want these quick hints over here. Well, sorry. If I still want to use those quick hints over here, I can just press Control and space, and you can see right away it comes back, the hints come back. So if I do that, it actually gives me right away back my options, even though I use the delete. So if you ever wonder how to get back, you don't need to delete your whole bracket just to get these code hints back. You can actually just press Control space and you get them back. So again, I'm just going to use the image over here, but you know what? No, I'm just going to use the heading, let's say, right? Now, here's another deal that if I press space, again, I get my attributes, right? However, if some attributes are not going to be associated with all the elements that you can use. Let's say some attributes we're going to be able to use with all the elements. Some of them unfortunately we're not going to be able to use with all elements because that's just by design. So let's say that when we were dealing with the source is actually designed for the image. So as I'm even as I'm pressing S over here, it doesn't give me the option of source element because the attribute is not associated with a heading element over here. It's actually associated with a image element. Now that we have covered the headings and the attributes in brackets, I just want to show you something really cool, which is brackets extensions. And brackets extensions are like plugins that actually help to actually make it more personable, the brackets text editor, right? So what we can do is we can go to File over here, and we have an option of going to Extension Manager over here, or we have an option of going here with this little icon. So I'm just going to press the brackets extensions over here, and sometimes it takes some longer time to load it, but you can see that over here I have 3 icons. I have installed, I have themes, which is actually a background colors for the brackets, and I have the available extensions. So if I would go over here, I would click on this icon over here, and in the search box I would basically write what type of extension I would want. And actually I have a playlist for all the brackets extensions. Well, not for all the brackets extensions out there, but for a lot of brackets extensions. So if you want, you can go and check it out, that playlist, and you can get familiar with those brackets extensions. Now, getting back to what we would need to do over here, I would write over here HTML, let's say starter plate, right? So you can see over here, and if I go over here, I just download, right? So let me show you what would have happened if I would download it. You can see I go back to here, my installed, and I have HTML format, and I have HTML skeleton. You can see that I have an option of disable or remove if I would want, but I don't want to do that. Let's say that I have downloaded, and I just close it over here, and let's say that I'm just gonna delete this, the boilerplate that we were creating, I believe, in our second video or something like that. So you can see over here I have my HTML skeleton. So if I just press it over here, I have a couple of options. I have basic skeleton, I have the full width, and I have a couple of more other ones, the inline style sheet and external script. So I'm just going to press this basic HTML skeleton, and you can see that it adds right away everything that we were working on. We have the head over here, we have the body over here, we have the actual HTML wrapper. You can see that it's added a couple of more attributes that we haven't covered here yet with the meta characters and the viewports, so we don't need to worry about them for now as we're just starting to work here. But you can see how easy it is, that I don't need to actually create anything. I just press the plugin or press the button, and the brackets actually right away does that for me. And that's the case with the brackets extensions. That it actually, what they do is actually they make your life much more easier. And the same thing goes for, let's say, the view. Remember when we were covering the view, the themes over here, and this would be, let's say, the case where we have 2 options, brackets light and brackets dark. But if I would go here to the brackets extension manager, I have themes. So if I just press it over here, it just might be a little bit longer, because for some reason sometimes the brackets extension manager decides that it's just gonna be messing around like this, so I can just keep talking and talking. Well, now you see it did it. And over here you can see over here that what type of themes I have. Now for themes, I would suggest actually going and pressing more info, just so you can see what type of theme it is and everything, so you don't have to download it and then remove it. But let's say that in this case I just want to download, I don't know, Marcus Dark theme or something like that. So I just press more info, and you can see that I can read it, everything about it, and you can see what's happening, how it looks like and everything, right? So I'm just going to close it out for now, and I'm going to go back to brackets, and I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm just going to install it. So now it's going to take a little bit of time for installing. Now it says install successful. We close over here, and then we go back to view, and this is our themes, and now we have Marcus Dart theme. So if I just press it over here, and you can see that it's done, and you can see the coloring and everything. So you can see that it has 2 ways of working with the brackets extensions. First, they provide us a quicker way to actually adding our code to wherever our document, and they also can make our appearance a little bit different on the document that we're working on, and to actually kind of give us a little bit, I don't know, a different view and everything. This is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.